I was faced with a choice which I never should have had.
She was crying like I had never heard a woman cry before in my life.
And I just cried for weeks and weeks. Everything reminded me of a baby.
And I kept trying to get up from the table and look to see what was in that jar.
I was dealing with the loss of my unborn child and I didn't even know it.
I believe that my life was spared that night just so that I could be here right now and say abortion hurts women.
Whisper, be silent no more.
Welcome to Faces of Abortion. I'm your host, Cindy Collins, and today we have a very special show. It is a woman's show with one of our former co-hosts, Molly White. Welcome, Molly.
Thank you, Cindy.
We're so excited about you being here on the show, as we are going to be talking, especially from a woman's perspective, of hearing Mayella's story and discussing how abortion has affected her life, but also how abortion has affected the nations. And Molly, I know that Mayella is a very good friend of yours also.
Yes, she is. We've known each other for many years.
Well, we're going to be hearing a little bit more about Molly and Mayella's relationship, but first of all, we want to go ahead and hear Mayella's story in her own words.
Hola, mi nombre es Mayella, María Mayella, y yo soy una mujer que ha sufrido por el aborto. Yo tengo experiencia personal y me gustaría decirle ahorita, ¿qué es un aborto? Hay mucha gente que piensa que el aborto es un derecho, pero yo quiero que usted sepa que no tenemos derecho. Nada más hay una persona que da vida y nada más hay una persona que tiene el derecho de tomar la vida, y ese es Dios. Yo no siempre he pensado eso. Había un tiempo cuando yo escuché a las mentiras, yo pensaba que yo soy una mujer muy poderosa y pensaba que yo tengo el derecho de hacerme en la imagen que yo quiero ser. Así es que traté de planear mi vida, traté de planear mi familia. Y yo quiero que ustedes sepan que el aborto quiere planear su familia, pero el aborto nada más planea a matar su familia. Yo era una niñita chiquita cuando vivía en México y mi papá vino a los Estados Unidos para buscar trabajo. Yo era una niñita con mucha esperanza, mucho gozo. Yo todo lo que quería es estar cerca de mi papá, tener sus abrazos y sus besos. Necesitaba saber que él me amaba y me aceptaba. Pero él no estaba allí. Y yo siempre soñé de estar reunida con él. Y había un día, después de 6 años, cuando sí vinimos a los Estados Unidos, fuimos reunidos con nuestro papá. Y pensaría que eso fuera el más feliz día y que todo estuviera bien después de eso, pero nada más era the beginning, el comienzo. Lo que había pensado que los Estados Unidos era un lugar de esperanza, un lugar de felicidad. Era realidad en unos modos y en otros no eran. I had fantasized about the United States. I had a fantasy in my mind that I built up when I was a little girl, that it was a land of promise and hope, and that it had the answer to all of our problems. That here there would be no poverty, no hunger, that we would have a home and we would have a dad, that we would have running water and toilets indoors, simple things. We would have electricity, TV, maybe even cars. As a child, it was all that I wanted, all that I thought I needed. But when we came into the United States, we realized there was always someone that was going to have more than we had. And eventually I fell into this mindset that what I had was not enough, and all I ever really wanted was a family. I gave that up in exchange for this testimony. This testimony, the right to tell you what an abortion is, cost me the life of my only child. Listen to me. Abortion is not a solution, and you can choose life. Call the 1-800 number. Habla a la línea de teléfono. Escúchenos. Nosotros sabemos que es esperanza.
You've just heard Mayella's story in her own words, and how Operation Outcry and this ministry of Faces of Abortion is really reaching nations. We want to encourage you, whether you may be in a crisis pregnancy situation or have experienced abortion, or you may have just tuned in or are listening to this program, to call the national helpline 1-866-482-LIFE. There is a woman or a man on the other end of that line that wants to speak with you, pray with you, hear your story today. I know, Molly, it's such an honor to have you on this program, and especially because Mayella is your very closest friend here on earth.
Yes.
And also because you are the former co-host of Faces of Abortion, sort of the founding host of Faces of Abortion, and really laid a tremendous foundation for this program that is really touching nations right now.
Well, thank you, Cindy, but I tell you what, you're doing an excellent job, and I just stand in awe as I watch the show and see how your story and all the guests that are on this show are reaching nations with our testimonies, and the women that are coming forth, calling the helpline number, getting help, and the women that are sparing their child's life by not choosing abortion because of our personal experiences.
Well, I really take that as healing to my bones and encouragement that, you know, the Lord says that we're to receive that encouragement too, especially as you and I have worked together as a team in going out to other nations, and a team really in wanting to bring hope and healing to women, and as Mayella was sharing about reclaiming our families.
Right.
Reclaiming our nations,
Right.
reclaiming our heritage. And I know that you also speak Spanish, and I'd like for you to share a little bit of Mayella's and yours relationship and her testimony also.
Mayella and I have been dear friends for many, many years. And Mayella has a heart for Mexican people. And you know, like she said in her testimony, her family came here from Mexico when she was a young child. And they had hoped